Hi guys, we are now going to see what an ester is and how it is formed. Okay, so the first thing that you can see is that when you make an acid react with an alcohol, the compound that it forms is an ester, and the other product that is produced is water. And we're going to see how. Okay, so the first example we're going to take is the methanoic acid. Methanoic means it only has one carbon, and here we can see the two possible ways of writing it. This is just when you're writing it with your computer, and this is when you're drawing the structure. What we can see is that the OH can be separated from the rest of the molecule, okay? And we're going to make it react with the simplest of all alcohols that we know, the one that is made of one single carbon, and therefore it's called the methanol, okay? And with the methanol we're going to do the same. We're going to separate what we are having here, and we're going to rearrange all the bonds. So what we're going to do is to make the OH go on one side, and the carbon will form this other thing, and therefore we will have here the OH and the H, and that is our very well known H2O, that is water. Okay, so we have formed this compound by extracting OH from the acid and H from the alcohol. And what we have is, instead of having the methanoic, that also has the name of formic acid for historical reasons, in the same way we do with the rest of the acids, we will call it methanoate or formiate, okay? And we have to make sure that we know what is the other ending that we have added. The alcohol that we used was made of one single carbon, so it is methanol. Therefore, we are going to add the methyl name to the ester. Therefore, what we are going to have is the corresponding methyl methanoate, or you can find it as well as methyl formiate. Okay, if instead of doing that with ethyl, we do it with another alcohol, like for example ethanol, so if we do it with ethanol that has two atoms of carbon, this is still what comes from this part. What we will have will be this other thing, the same we did before. Okay, so we are having some water being produced, and we are having this other ending that will join with the methanoic acid, with a part of the methanoic acid, so it will still be a methanoate or formiate, because the fragment we have added has two atoms of carbon. We know it is going to be an ethyl group. Therefore, the ester that we will form will be the ethyl methanoate. And what happens if the acid we begin with has not one but two carbons? Okay, so what we're going to do is to have the acid that has two atoms of carbon. Therefore, it will be called ethanoic, or again, for historical reasons, we can also call it acetic acid. Okay, and we're going to make it react with the methanol, that is the alcohol with one single carbon atom that has its own hydrogen in the beginning. Okay, so again we will make it, we will face it, we will rotate the molecule until they face each other in the proper way, and then we will separate the water on one side and we will form the new molecule on the other side. Because the acid it comes from has 2 carbons, it will be an ethanoate or acetic, we will see it as well. Because the methanol is the alcohol we use with one single carbon, then we will call it methyl ethanoate or methyl acetate. And the last possibility that we're going to see today, what happens if instead of having one acid with 2 carbons as we are having here, and an alcohol not with 1 but with 2 atoms of carbon, that is an ethanol. Okay, so you can guess what is going to happen now. We're going to have the water being produced on one side and rotate and react, and there we have acid with 2 carbons, alcohol with 2 carbons. This is going to be called ethyl acetate or ethyl ethanoate. Okay, anyway, as I always tell to you, you can see in 3 dimensions in a much better way when you use moleview.org. Thank you.